All right, guys, I know everybody's getting ready for the Super Bowl, and I have started to dive into a little bit of NFL draft film. I've seen mock drafts coming out, and Dane Brugler of The Athletic and, of course, Mel Kiper Jr. of ESPN, they, in their first mock drafts, both have the Bears selecting defensive tackle Kayden McDonald out of Ohio State, 6'3", 326 pounds, and a guy who had 65 total tackles this past season for the Buckeyes, which is really rare for a defensive tackle, and especially rare when you're in a defense with so many stars, the likes of Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs and Caden Curry and Keontae Jackson. There are so many guys on this defense, yet Kayden McDonald, the big guy in the middle, ended up with a lot of tackles. So how did he do so, and how do his skills translate to the next level? Let's dive into it. So let's start with the Indiana game, because I thought this was one of his best games, and this ability that he has right here is a very savvy run defender. Very few interior offensive linemen can block him one-on-one, and what he does a lot of times is he baits running backs. Notice, as he comes off the ball, he peeks his head over into this A-gap, right? So the running back is coming down. He's like, okay, where should I go? So he puts his head over to this A-gap, and once the running back cuts it back, he's going to whip his head back around, fight across the face of the center, and make this tackle. You see this on tape time and time again from him, and it shows you that it's not just power. It's savviness. It's smarts. He's an academic all Big Ten player, and you see it in the way that he defends the run. We're going to get another example of it here. Once again, this is a bare front, meaning 5 defensive linemen across the board and 2-3 techniques, which means 2 guys covering up the outside shoulder of the guard. That's going to leave Kayden McDonald one-on-one once again with the center, and watch the game he plays with the running back. He's going to fire off the ball in this A-gap, and then he's going to whip his head over to this gap. He whips it over here. Now he's going to come back. Watch this. Here comes his head again back to this gap, and just for good measure, he's going to slide over to this A-gap, just completely gumming up the works here and giving time for linebackers and defensive ends to plug this gap up and make the play. He is just he's just a load in there, and very difficult to block, and very smart in his ability to bait running backs into going where he wants them to go. He also has incredible anchor strength, and a guy that just absolutely blows up double teams. You're going to see him over here in what's called an underfront, where usually the 3 technique would be lined up to the strong side of the formation. You'd have a guy here, and you'd have a guy here. Instead, they flip it where they have the 3 tech over onto the weak side without the tight end. The tight end is over here. And Kayden McDonald is lined up as the 1 technique here on the strong side of the formation. And so he's got to split this double team, and my goodness does he, because this is an inside zone play, meaning that these 2 blockers are going to double him, try to get him over to this gap right here so that the center can take him on. And then this guard up to the play side backer, Sonny Styles, and this play coming downhill. But because Kayden McDonald just absolutely mashes this double team, the guard is not able to come off. He gets caught here, and Sonny Styles comes in here and makes an easy tackle for Ohio State. So Kayden McDonald, one of the best run defenders in the entire draft at the defensive tackle position. The downside is there's not a lot of pass rush upside there, in my opinion, because he doesn't have the longest arms and he's not the most agile laterally. I'm not saying he's going to be a bad pass rusher. He could be adequate, but he's never going to be a guy that you're going to see getting 6 or 7 sacks a season. But for the Bears, he would be an upgrade over Andrew Billings at the nose tackle position. He's really good at playing 2 gaps and defensive alignments where you go to the 5 or the 6-man front if you need to take away an opposing team's running game. He's going to be very good on first and second down. The Bears are one of the worst run defenses in the entire NFL this past season. And this is a guy who could help you out immediately in that department.